All right, Shalom, it's your brother Shamar from Phoenix. With that being said, we give our honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'm going to jump right into it. This is a Romans 11 and 7. It says, "What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded." So, Israel, you so called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you have not obtained that which you seek for, which is what? The truth. Only a small remnant of men have obtained that and have an understanding of this word, man. And the rest were blinded. And so the majority of the people are blinded to the truth and the true understanding of these scriptures, man. And that's according to the Lord. I'm gonna read right there, verse 8. It says, "According as it is written, Yahweh has given them in the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear until this day." So that's all the Lord, man. They're in a spirit of slumbers, a spirit, a dazed and confused spirit, if so to speak, man. And that's because they follow the fashions of the so-called white man, the fashions and the lies and propaganda of the so-called white man. With that, I'm going to get Romans 10 and 3. "For they being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness and have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh," man. So they that's the key thing right there, man. You Jakes, you so-called black Latinos and Native Americans, you have a problem with submission, man. You have a problem with submitting yourself to the Most High. For you want to serve the Most High on your own terms and in your own way, but it don't work like that, man. That's why it says right here, "For they be ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness." So that's what they want to do. They want to establish their own righteousness, man. They want to, they bring out shit like well, as long as you have good intentions, or as long as you do good, or you're kind to everybody, then it doesn't matter what you believe. And just things like that they say. They want to serve the Most High in their own way and on their own terms, but it doesn't work like that, man. Because the Scripture said there's only one way to serve the Most High, and that's in spirit and in truth, man. Which I'm going to get John 4:23. It says, "For the hour is come, and now when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. Yahweh is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth." So there's only one way to worship and serve the Most High, man, and that's through these scriptures, man. That's to have an understanding of the scripture, like it says in Romans 11 and 7. They were blinded, man. And how you read in Romans 10 and 3, they want to establish their own righteousness. They want to serve the Most High in their own way, man. With that, I want to get Genesis 4 and 3, because that's an example of somebody of Cain. He wanted to serve the Lord in his own way. I'll start at verse 1. It says, "And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. In the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord, and Abel he also brought the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but to Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell." Because back then the law was oral; it wasn't written down. So Cain knew that he had to that animal sacrifice was required, but he wanted to serve the Lord in his own ways. That's why he didn't want to. That's why he didn't bring it. He bought fruit instead, which was not fulfilling the requirement, which was not fulfilling the standard. He probably wanted that meat to himself, man. He probably didn't want to give it to the Lord. He wanted to serve the Lord in his own terms, on his own way, man. That's why the Lord didn't have respect unto his offering. The Lord had respect to Abel's offering because he did it correctly. But that's how our people are, man. Our people are like that. They're stiff-necked people. They're blinded, man. With that, I'm gonna get Deuteronomy 28 and 29. It says Deuteronomy 28, 29, because that's part of the curses. I said, "The Lord shall smite thee with madness," and that's also verse 28. "The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart." That's why our people are bugged out to this day, man. Going on all these crazy doctrines, man. And I'm going to read verse 29. "And thou shalt grope at noonday as a blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled even more, and no man shall save thee. And why will they not prosper in the way? Because they're not taking heed unto this word, because only by the word can you prosper, man. With that, I'm going to get Psalms, the first chapter. I'll start at verse 1. It said, Blessed the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and the law does he meditate day and night. So the word, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth fruit in its season. Leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. And why is that righteous man going to prosper? Because he takes heed unto the word, man. And going back to the curses, it says, And thou shalt go up as noonday, as the blind gropest, Deuteronomy 20:29, and thou shalt go up as noonday, as the blind gropest in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And why not? Because they don't take heed into the word, because they're a stiff-necked people, and the Lord has made them so, with blindness and astonishment of heart, being crazy. That word heart means mind, so astonishment of mind. So they bugged out pretty much, man. They're so bugged out that they don't want to submit themselves to the Most High, because that was their punishment for being stiff-necked in the first place, man. Because the scripture says in Psalms, the first chapter, that a man, the only way you can prosper is by taking heed into this word. I'm gonna read that back again. And thou shalt go up at noonday, as the blind gropest in darkness. So you ain't seeing the real, so to speak. Thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall say thee. Hey, Jake's so bugged out that he doesn't even know he's oppressed, man. He doesn't even know he's bugged out. The crazy person doesn't know that they're crazy, man. They just think that their shit's right. In reality, it's not, man. With that, I want to get Isaiah 6:10. It says, make the heart of this people fat, the mind fat, so it's clogged up, man. Just like your arteries get clogged up when you eat, you got high cholesterol, you got a high fat diet, then hey, their minds are clogged up, man. It's blockage. There's blockage. Make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy and shut their eyes, as they see with their eyes and hear with their ears, understand with the heart and convert and can be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. And so that's the judgment on the Lord for the stiff neckedness of our people, man. That rebellious against the covenant of the Most High back in the ancient days, which we are those same people being reincarnated again, man. With that, I'm going to get Isaiah 44:18. It says, they have not known nor understood, for he has shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand. So this is all of the Lord, man. The Lord, the scripture said that faith is a gift, man. So you have understanding of this word, then you should do your due diligence to hold fast to that which you have learned, man. Let no man take thy crown. This is how precious this thing is. This is the importance of it, man. This is the seriousness of it, man. It's not to be taken lightly. The apostles and others always tell us, man, don't take this thing lightly, man. This is serious business. Because we could have been on the other side of that fence being bugged out, man. But the Lord had grace on us, and He has opened our eyes to understand this truth. He has given the correct teachers, man, starting from the apostles and elders, a great millstone on down, man. And with that, I want to get Isaiah, Matthew 13:14. This is Matthew 13, starting at verse 14. Slack. It says, and is Yahweh Shai speaking, and them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, by hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing shall see and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is a wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, as at any time they shall see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and we shall understand with the heart. They shall slack and shall understand with the heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. So you gotta be very grateful, man. That's part of humbleness and humility. You gotta be grateful and you gotta be humble that you know this truth, and you shouldn't let it puff you up with pride, man. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye have seen, and not seen them, and hear those things which ye hear and have not heard them. That's what it is, man. So you should count yourself in a very blessed state if you can understand and receive this word, because the majority of people, they won't understand or receive it, even if you break it down to them, uh, like kindergarten style, man, like ABC style, like they say in the military, break it down to them Barney style, man. They're not going to understand it. They're not going to receive it. So if you're in, if so you this if this word resonates with you, and it vibes with your spirit, then hey, you gotta chase that, man. That's the pearl of great price. I'm gonna get that scripture right now. I'll probably just close it in on that. I don't want to make this video too long. Come on, I'll start up a bit. I'll start at verse I'll start at verse 44. This is Matthew 13:44, and this is how you should. This is how our attitude should be in finding out about this truth. It says again, the king. This is Yahweh Shai speaking once again. It says again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field, that which a man has found it, he hideth enjoy thereof. Go and sell us in all that he has and buys that field. So he leaves everything to pursue that truth, and that's the spirit of brothers that in this truth, man. They sacrifice and gave up a lot of things to pursue. Their work in the ministry, man. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls. And we have found one pearl of great price, went and sold all they had and bought it. And the kingdom of heaven like unto a net that was cast at sea and gathered of every kind, which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just. They shall cast him into furnace of fire, and they shall be waiting and gnashing of teeth. So the point was this, man. Right here in verse right here in verse 45. Again, the king of heaven like a merchant man seeking goodly pearls. We have found one of great pearl, great price, went and sold all he had and bought it. So that's what it is, man. So if this truth resonates with you, and you have an understanding of this truth, then yeah, you found that pearl of great price, man. Because not everybody can or will receive it. So that's why you have to be grateful that the Lord bestowed grace upon you, man. And that's why, we gotta hold on to this truth, man. Let no man take thy crown, you know. With that being said, man, I'm most I willing to hope this lesson was edifying. As I want to say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Shalom.